Hey there. So, this is my second video chronicling my adventures at the Mayo Clinic Pain Rehabilitation Center. If you want a little bit of history on me and backstory, you can go watch the first video. But bottom line, I'm a chronic pain sufferer with migraines and tension headaches for 12 plus years. And I was at the point of just moving on to even more medicine, which I didn't want to do. So I found this pain rehabilitation center through the Mayo Clinic, and I don't know if you can hear, there's a helicopter because I'm right next to a hospital and they bring helicopters in with patients. Anyways, sorry, squirrel. So this is a program that my doctor helped me find, and it was really exactly the program that I needed to help me regain my quality of life and manage this pain. And I had been saying help live with pain and reduce medication, but now I have gone through my first 2 days of the program. First day was very emotionally draining. I was meeting with the different disciplines within the program, so involved my nurse, who is amazing. Her name is Sue, and I love her. Physical therapist, occupational therapist, pharmacist, and psychologist. So I get to answer a lot of questions, tell my story a little bit differently to each person depending on what they, what their discipline is and what they need to know. Honestly, a lot of it could be, I felt somewhat humiliation, embarrassment, and I shouldn't, but that's depression part of things. You feel like a failure, and then the more you talk about what your daily life has become, it's hard emotionally because I have no quality of life. I'm in bed a lot of the time, and it's hard to admit that out loud to people throughout an entire day of, well, what is your daily routine? None. I get up, I get my kids on the bus, and that's it. I'll do a load of laundry, and folding the clothes will make my head hurt worse. It's depressing and humiliating. Although they're wonderful and no judgment was there at all. So second day, I got thrown into the workshop starting. It's a full day that we do every day. It's physical therapy, occupational therapy, group sessions. So I have a group, but I think there's only six or seven of us in the group. And we do stretching, movement class, which is yoga or Tai Chi, relaxation, meditation. I also did biofeedback yesterday, which I'd never done before, so that was pretty cool. So that's helping to teach you how to breathe, do diaphragmatic breathing to help with relaxation. They actually put electrodes here to measure the tension, which for me, this is where a lot of my pain and tension is built up, and these bad boys here. And you could see on the screen the tension that was here. My left side is worse than my right. That's where my migraines usually live. So it's exactly what I need. And it's exactly what I need because I know that there are a lot of things that would help me, such as relaxation, with breathing, meditation, exercise, walking, socialization. And I had hit a point, and I think I probably mentioned in the first video, that I completely lacked all motivation or lack all motivation due to the depression, which goes really hand in hand with chronic pain. And I need somebody to be like, this is what you do, and here's when you do it. And now I'm going to this place every day, and they're saying, this is what you do. Now you go here and do this, and now you go here and do that. And physical therapy is not the same as the physical therapy that I have done for my migraines in the past, where they do a lot of manual manipulation and they massage, or I've done dry needling, or, heating pads and all this stuff. No, this is, you're exercising, basically. And there's no manual manipulation. So it was an hour long of exercising, and for someone who hasn't really done much physical activity in the last several years, it was a hard day. And they do say the first few days you're going to feel a lot worse before you feel better. So, but a couple things have happened. I got an article that really has pissed me off, and it's the medication that I take. The only medication that I've had for the last 12 years that has helped numb my pain is Fioricet. And I've known that it's not necessarily meant for long term. There's acetaminophen in it, which can damage your liver. I was always told, though, it's not habit forming. And the reason they don't really want you on it long term is really because the worry of liver damage. And I get my liver tested annually. So I get it prescribed. And when I first started taking it, I was taking it 3 times a day. And I started it with my pregnancy because I couldn't take any other medications that I normally would take for my headaches. And so for about 6 months of pregnancy, I took this medication every day. And when I was no longer pregnant, had my baby, went back to all the medications that had worked. I had a year of good life without bad headaches. I went back to all that medication, it didn't work. Nothing worked anymore. Everything that worked before, nothing worked. Nothing worked. This has been going on for 12 years. So the first thing the pharmacist had said to me yesterday was, Fioricet is actually, because I was like, I don't want to go to opioids. That's like why I'm like, that was my other thing was, what am I going to do next? Next thing I'm going to do is go to pain management, which is more pain medication, which I don't want. I don't. And she's like, well, Fioricet is honestly just as bad as opioids. Wow, great, wonderful. Nobody has told me this before. And I'm a smart person. I feel like I should have looked it up. I can't find the dang article. Anyways, so the one component of Fioricet, it's got acetaminophen, caffeine, and butalbital, I think is the name. But basically, what happens with that when it breaks down in your body is it is a barbiturate. So it doesn't start as a barbiturate. I think it breaks into a barbiturate, and so sorry, I'm trying to find the article so it's underneath where my camera is. Wonderful. I've been taking this barbiturate basically for 12 years. And this is meant for acute treatment, not chronic treatment. And the first neurologist that prescribed it to me back when I was pregnant with Evie, I was basically prescribed to take it 3 times a day. And I was on that for several years. I went to a different neurologist who was like, there's been newer studies saying it's not really great because you can have rebound headaches, which happens with acetaminophen. So I got off of it for like 2 months, and I was like, I'm still in the pain. I need pain. I'm still just in pain, and I have nothing to help dull the pain for me to get through the day. So I got back on it because I'm like, well, I'm still having headaches. So obviously it's not just rebound headaches. It's just my headaches. So then I went to another neurologist, and, he's always wanted me to kind of take less. So instead of like 3 times a day, like go to once a day, twice a day maybe. yeah, so that's kind of, and I've gotten off of it a few times because I hit points where I'm like, I'm just going to get off my medication and see if I feel better, because maybe it is medication and rebound headaches. And from what the pharmacist said yesterday, you have to be off of it for 6 to 12 months to really remove any of those kind of rebound headaches that you may be having. But this, so then I got this article that they gave me. It's called Breaking the Cycle of Medication Overuse Headache. And it is specific to butalbital and opioids that are given for people with migraines. And basically how it's just a horrible thing to do, because you get into this medication overuse headache, which is, we say rebound headache. It's not necessarily a rebound headache. It is, these medications long term will cause you to continue to have headaches, and more frequent headaches and worse headaches. So wonderful. I will say, as I started reading this article this morning, and I haven't finished it yet, it pissed me off. But I need to process the anger and move forward to the, now I know, and I'm where I need to be, and now I can work on fixing the problem. But this could explain why, after 6 months of taking Fioricet during my pregnancy 12 years ago, none of my other medications worked again once I started taking my regular regimen of medications that have worked. This might be why nothing has worked for me. Sorry, it's frustrating. Anyways, so that was a fun little thing that happened. And the other big thing that I learned today, one, my body is really not used to doing exercise at all, and that was hard. I'm hurting everywhere, but my nurse said, if you call me because you don't feel good in the morning, unless you have COVID symptoms or you need to be at the ER because you have having a heart attack and can't breathe, you're going to come to treatment. So, and I will. I'm taking this very seriously, and I know I feel like crap, and I'm going to feel worse probably in the morning when I wake up, because I'm in pain everywhere, because not only do I have the head and neck, but I've got elbow pain from what they call golfer's elbow, and I have really bad knee pain from like my bones kind of grinding, but a lot of it's probably my muscles have not been in use, so then things move around, so it's not aligned correctly. So that'll get better as I go through my physical therapy. But the other thing that we talked about today is Central Sensitization Syndrome, which is basically your brain is what tells you have pain. You have nerves, and your nerves will send some sort of danger, like a hot oven, and it'll be like, hey, danger, I'm going to send neurons up to your central nervous system, and then your brain is going to interpret what that is and tell me what to do about it. And that's what happens, and it's like, oh, your brain's like, oh, that's pain, so don't do that again. Danger. Kind of that fight or flight reflex will happen. And because apparently there's two different things going on. There's sympathetic response, which is that fight or flight response, is that high level, like, ooh, there's a bear, run, things like that. And then there's parasympathetic, which is the area where the brain is telling you to calm yourself down. When you have chronic pain, you have been in this mode where your brain interprets things at a really heightened sense. All of your senses are heightened, and you're basically living at like dial volume 11 of your sympathetic nervous system. So this program is going to give tools to help relax you and bring that parasympathetic, right? Yeah, parasympathetic back to kind of a normal level. So you're not just all the way functioning at this heightened danger warning zone that my brain is in, because the pain all stems from what your brain is telling your body. So, and you can think of it too, like people who have phantom limb pain. So I had, an issue with my foot from diabetes or what it might be, and pain for 6 months, and then I had to amputate, but now I still feel pain in that limb that's not there, or a pain in that foot that's not there. That's because your brain, that's what your brain was basically rewired to do, is say, hey, that foot has pain. So it's kind of like that. And then you also can add in for someone that has chronic pain, where I'm like, I know I go to amusement park, I'm going to be in pain. Like, to where I start fearing going and doing things because I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to be in pain. So I tell my brain that, or I say that to myself, and my brain, that's what it learns. It learns, oh, I'm fearful of doing activities because I'm going to have more pain. So I have to rewire my brain to realize that I can do this and it's not danger mode. I can go exercise for an hour in physical therapy and I will be able to do it, and it's not bad, and I can remove that danger part from my brain and bring that sympathetic down and the parasympathetic up. So, there's a lot of things that I know that will help me, and I knew that would help me with meditation and exercise and all of this, but I hit a point where I couldn't get myself to do it. I lost all motivation because of the depression. I need to be somewhere where someone's saying, go do this. And that's exactly where I'm at. And I know I'm in the right location, and I do have hope, even though I know I'm in pain, and I know I have fear around not having my medication that helps me reduce the pain, even though now I know it may help for those few hours while it's there, but it's over, long run does not help. And I have some I'm going to be skeptical at first, just because I'm like, oh, you're going to help me, but I have so much tension here and you're not going to do any massage. Like, how is that possible that it's going to work? But you're going to be skeptical and you're going to have questions and concerns. But everything that they're presenting makes sense. Everyone has been wonderful. The people going through the program with me, we all come in on different days. So there's some people, like today was one guy's last day. Some people have been there a week already. Some have been there 2 weeks. It's a 3-week program. So it's kind of good to see where other people are. And it's also just nice to be with other people who deal with chronic pain. So I'm hopeful, and I will try to do some more videos as I move through the process and start to learn more, learning my tools. One of the big things also that they're trying to stress, and this is going to be hard for me and I'm going to have to work on it, is not saying negative things. Because if I say negative things about my pain, or focus on my pain, or acknowledge the pain, or say this is my bad side, or any negative things around my pain, that also gives your brain that signal of, oh, that's wrong, that's danger, bad, it's negative. So there's got to be lots of positive affirmations going on, which is going to be hard for me, but I can do it. This was just my first real day of being involved in all the classes and things. So I'm hopeful, but I'm angry. I'm having all the emotions, really. I did make a video yesterday because I was so overwhelmed, and yeah, so it's going to be like that. I've had a lot of crying, a lot of crying during the day, talking to different people, but again, very normal. So this is a great program so far, and I know it's only been the second day, but it makes a lot of sense explaining how your brain is in control of the pain and how rewiring the brain is what needs to happen. And I know it's going to be a lot of work, and I know it's work that has to continue when I leave here, but I will be setting new habits which involve daily exercise and socialization, and coming up with good tools for the occupational therapy tools, which are daily activity type things, and how to do those and meet my goals, which I have some really good goals that I'm working towards. So I'm feeling positive. So I will give you guys another update in the next day or two and see how things go. Okay, bye.